Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 196. Let's kick this off with two questions from Gungner. Actually, before I do, I want to say thanks to Gungner and John Cross for hoping that me and Emma feel better soon. I'm fine. I think I was able to hold off the potential cough, which is just as well because I fucking hate having a cough. It's so annoying. Emma's better than she was last week. I'm sure she'll be completely better later on in the week. Anyway, now for the questions. 1. If Marek never transformed into Yami Marek, which strategy would he use in Battle City since Yami Marek changed 90% of Marek's old deck? I think he'd still stick with the strategy with slimes. Still have Revival, Jam, and Jam Defender. And I guess have Metal Reflect Slime, but I guess he'd probably use Gravekeepers or some other Egyptian-themed deck, but more likely Gravekeepers, just because A, I can't think of what else he'd use, and B, that's what he used in the live duel with Pegasus 10 years ago. I wonder what one they'll do this year. Anyway, Gravekeeper sounds like something he'd probably use because Spy can help swarm and keep up field presence, which would make it easy for tribute summon fodder, including the Winged Dragon of Ra. It would make, with Necro Valley, it would make bringing stuff back from the grave near impossible. Just outright turn off Monster Reborn. So he wouldn't be able to just do the strategy of recycling Monster Reborn and doing other things to bring Ra back from the grave. So I guess, in a way, there'd have to be some reverse engineering in the duels with Joey and Yugi. 2. If Yami Bakura won against Yugi in Battle City, how much would it change the plot? Would it be Bakura versus Marek for world domination versus the Millennium Collector? I swear I already covered this, either in a previous Q&A or a What If episode. Can't remember exactly, but it feels familiar. Unless I'm getting confused with the Marek duel. I don't know. Obviously, with Yami Bakura winning, he would win Slife of the Sky Dragon, and that would just be a huge shock and just really bad, considering the one who's meant to save the world from Marek is out of the tournament. And it would potentially mean that Marek doesn't get to duel Yugi. I guess the duel with Yami Marek and Yami Bakura would still happen, and then with Marek winning, he would take not only the Millennium Ring, but also Slife of the Sky Dragon, which would arm him with 2 Egyptian gods. And then later on, they'd see that Bakura is gone, and then with Bakura gone, Kaiba would have to reinstate Yugi. So he would take Bakura's spot in the semi-finals. Yeah, that's more likely what would make sense. I don't see a scenario where that duel at the end of season 2 doesn't happen. I mean, unless there's some reverse engineering of the story, which is unlikely. So it would mean that Marek would be forced to give Yugi back Slifer. But knowing Marek, he'd just probably refuse. But I don't know. It's uncertain what would happen here. I mean, if Marek was forced to give Slifer the Sky Dragon back to Yugi, because Bakura's not around, then basically nothing changes at all, and then the rest of the Battle City tournament plays out the same way. But if Marek kept hold of Slifer, then yeah, it would make things more tricky. And Joey would have to potentially deal with 2 Egyptian gods. I mean, the duel would play out a lot differently, and Marek would find a way to get Slifer the Sky Dragon out on the field and put Joey in a tight spot. I mean, I don't know how he'd be able to overcome Slifer, but he would either lose very quickly and have a legitimate loss against Marek, or Joey would find a way to play around Slifer the Sky Dragon and do some sort of fancy combo, maybe even with a dice roll effect or a coin toss effect, and just get rid of Slifer, overcome it, only for Marek to follow up with Monster Reborn, bringing back Ra, changing it into its Phoenix mode, and then just obliterating Joey's monsters, leaving him in pain, and then it just ends the same way with him top decking Gearfried and then passing out before he can declare an attack. Then with Yugi and Kaiba, Yugi is at a huge disadvantage without Slifer. He has no gold card, but Kaiba does. So Yugi has to find another way to overcome Obelisk. So I don't know, he might have to incorporate a similar strategy to what he did against Jeremiah, and that is use the Magnet Warriors and Brave attack, which might have to result in a different strategy being used for that duel, or maybe Brave attack would come into play still, but with different monsters. I feel like Yugi would summon like various different monsters out and against Kaiba, and just use them to be able to overpower Obelisk. Then I guess the flashback scene would still happen, where they see ancient Egypt desolated, and then they see their past selves, go to a flashback, and then after that the duel just carries on the same way as before, with Kaiba summoning Blue Eyes, after Blue Eyes, Yugi getting out Dark Magician and Red Eyes, followed by the appearances of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and Dark Paladin. So Yugi would still find a way to win, take Obelisk, so now it's 2 gods against 1 again, but the only difference is Yugi only has Obelisk, but Marek has Slifer and Ra, which would have Yugi really backed into a corner, but he would be able to hold off attacks from Slifer and find another way to get out Obelisk. Maybe Magnet Reverse would come into play here. I don't know, but that feels more like a strategy unique to Little Yugi in a way to take down all the Egyptian gods in the final duel. So yeah, it might be tricky. I mean, maybe yeah, Yugi would have to find a way to protect 3 monsters from Slifer, and then that way he can get out Obelisk. It gets temporarily weakened by Slifer, and then he'd be able to destroy Slifer. And of course, while all this is going on, Marek is doing his shenanigans with Ra and Monster Reborn. I mean, ultimately, maybe Yugi would have to do his whole Ragnarok play, and use it to banish both Slifer and Ra. I mean, I guess in this scenario, Marek would more likely win, and then all hope would be lost. But the writers, of course, wouldn't let that happen. They'd have to find a way to find a really unique way that Yugi and the Tem can just overcome both Slifer and Ra and still win the Battle City tournament. That's the best way I can see it, really. Yeah, it really does depend. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that the duel with Bakura and Marek at the end of season 2 doesn't happen for whatever reason. I mean, they're about to, but they call it off and then decide to save it for the Battle City tournament. So Bakura's in the semi-finals. He's in that 4-way duel with Kaiba, Joey and Marek. Of course, Kaiba is a bit peeved that he's not the one to take out Yugi. But I think he'd still try and play smart and try and eliminate Joey and Marek so that he can face Bakura and take Slifer the Sky Dragon to increase his chances of beating Marek. So Yeah, that's definitely what his aim would be, and that would happen. The duel between Marek and Joey plays out the same way. Then Kaiba and Bakura face off in the semi-finals. So yeah, it's a match that happens like 2 seasons earlier. I mean, Bakura probably won't fall back on the Destiny board strategy. Or maybe he still would anyway, but Kaiba would be well aware of it and come up with a plan to stop it. But it's really difficult to say who'd win here. I mean, the gods would definitely clash for sure. Yeah, Kaiba. Either Kaiba would find a way to overcome Slifer and Destiny board, and just win the duel and take Slifer, or Bakura in a shock twist finds a way to beat Kaiba with Slifer and Destiny board and go on to the finals. I mean, if Bakura wins, then Joey would still challenge Kaiba for 3rd place, and that would play out the same way. But yeah, Bakura and Marek meet in the final. Well, it's not good for anyone really, because either way, a villain's gonna win the whole thing. But it would, despite Bakura having both Slifer and Obelisk, it might still end up playing out the same way as their duel in the real timeline. I mean, Obelisk and Slifer would still come into play somehow, although Bakura would still get reckless with the life points thanks to multiple destruction and premature burial. And it's here where they would learn the hard way about instant attack. But then again, maybe there is a chance Bakura would find a way to win and get rid of Yami Marek. I mean, there'd be no hesitation sending both Yami Marek and Good Marek to the Shadow Realm. So, yeah, if Bakura wins, he'll take Ra and the Millennium Rod. Oh, there's another thing I didn't take into consideration. The puzzle. I mean, yeah, Bakura would probably take the Millennium Puzzle. If that duel at the end of Season 2 did happen, Marek would get that, and then little Yugi would be dueling as opposed to a Tem. But other than that, not much would change, although a Tem would resist Marek's power and try and help Joey or little Yugi. Anyway, but yeah, if Marek beats Bakura, he'll take both the gods and the Millennium Ring and send Bakura to the Shadow Realm, and then, yeah, the world is fucked, basically. Although, Darts would still come along and just be someone who just interferes with Marek's rule. I mean, unless of course they'd get sent to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, I guess Marek would send pretty much everyone to the Shadow Realm who doesn't agree to, like, serve him. Although I guess Darts would strongly oppose him, and that would be interesting to see. Darts facing Yami Marek, but I guess Darts would more likely win, despite Marek being armed with all three Egyptian gods. I mean, Shunaros and the Divine Serpent would certainly make things difficult. I mean, if anything, the Divine Serpent with infinite attack would just obliterate any of the Egyptian gods, and Yami Marek would lose his soul, and then the world would fall to the Orichalcos, leaving a much darker ending with just all hope lost. But yeah, these are just my best guesses as to what would happen. There's, yeah, just like about 3 scenarios that could end up happening, and they're the most likely ones, in my personal opinion. And the last question is from John Cross. Is Morphing Jar legal in your format? No, it's not. Morphing Jar is banned in Richician format for 3 very good reasons. 1, it stops Empty Jar being a thing. 2, it stops the Jackpot 7 OTK deck being a thing. Which is also why Morphing Jar 2 is banned, because yeah, I don't want like trolley deck out decks and OTK decks being allowed in my format. Then again, based on the auto win condition tournament I've been doing, I don't actually see how the Jackpot 7 deck's able to OTK. I mean, maybe there's something I'm missing, but yeah, I just don't see how it wins in one turn. Nevertheless, I'm still keeping Morphing Jar banned in my format anyway, and the third reason is because it keeps Dark World in check, along with having Card Destruction, Dark Smog, and Grapha, the Dragon Overlord of Dark World, the fusion monster, banned as well. Now, I could have just had Dark World just outright completely banned, but the thing is, I wanted to give Dragon Master 25 the option to play it, because, well, he has a Dark World deck, and it's a deck he likes playing. So yeah, I gave him that option as something to play in my format. But then again, despite this though, he doesn't seem interested in playing it under my ban list anyway. And because of this, I'm now debating whether or not to actually re-ban Dark World, you know, if it's not being given a chance. Of course, if I do re-ban Dark World as a whole, then I'll bring Card Destruction back, but Morphing Jar would stay banned, you know, just to stop Empty Jar and the Jackpot 7 OTK deck being a thing. And yeah, that is going to do it for questions in this episode. Thank you guys for your questions, very cool ones as always, and if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Wednesday afternoon or evening UK time, so be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.